So I took these videos a few years ago, and I'm gonna be pretty honest with you. Back then, going to this place was actually pretty amazing. I had a lot of fun. I am not gonna lie about that. And that's because we don't get to see these animals every day. So this place is actually pretty interactive, and it's probably one of the few times when we get to see dolphins, especially in Vegas. So this train takes you from the Treasure Island to the Mirage Casino, and once you arrive to the Mirage, you see this amazing botanical garden at the main entrance. Going back to the main topic, I watched Blackfish a few years ago, and since then, I don't like going to these places anymore because of the things that you see in that documentary. You must see it, by the way. And by the way, he's my dad. I don't know why he wants to be in all my videos, but whatever. I feel that's what all parents like to do. They want to be in everything that you do. Up next, my little takeaways about this place.
These dolphins resided in Las Vegas for many years. The secret in dolphin habitat was a popular destination that was well received by both locals and visitors.
It was located at the Mirage Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, and it was open for more than 30 years. In fact, on a different note, some of these dolphins are the offsprings of some of SeaWorld's male dolphins.
However, as many of you know, the Mirage now belongs to the Hard Rock Hotel Resorts, who have different plans and visions for the whole casino and its attractions.
And obviously, some of those plans include getting rid of the dolphin habitat because to us, we know that dolphins are not a type of attraction anymore. We know they're smart animals that deserve better rights and that they suffer and go through a lot of stress in these little tanks. As we know, in nature, different species of animals have different strategies to reproduce. But because they live in these little environments and they are pretty clustered, these dolphins don't get to follow their biological needs. And that goes from reproduction to not even drinking enough water. As we know, all mammals need fresh water, and that includes dolphins, obviously. In nature, they get their water intake from eating a lot of fish, which means they eat about 25 to 40 pounds of fish per day. But at the dolphin habitat, something tells me that these dolphins don't get enough food because some employees told me that they give them water with a hose and sometimes even gelatin. And that makes sense because they have to learn all these tricks and in return they get a little bit to eat. Also, their reproductive behaviors are interrupted because the males and females are completely separated from each other. The guys are in one pool with the other guys and the females are in a different pool along with their babies, which means that they never get to mate. By the way, they are all boys at this pool. Look at these boys, how smart they are. So, where do the babies come from? Well, through artificial insemination. Usually the fathers are from other aquariums like SeaWorld, and they bring the sperms, and then they just inseminate the females without their consent. And I find this really sad because these animals are pretty smart. And we know they are smart because they are social animals. And in biology, we know that social animals tend to display higher levels of intelligence. It's called the social intelligence hypothesis, which makes sense because they have to cooperate with other members of the same species. And that's exactly what we see in dolphins. In nature, male dolphins, for example, form groups with other guys and they kind of become best friends or allies in order to find mates, and they try to compete against other groups or other guys. And female dolphins, they teach their babies how to fish, and different females have different fishing techniques and they pass these techniques from generation to generation, which shows that dolphins have a sense of culture and tradition.
Although shutting down this habitat was already in mind of both parties, It became official in September of 2022 after the death of a 13-year-old bottlenose dolphin. Just in 2022, 4 dolphins died because of respiratory complications.
So in nature they live anywhere between 25 to 35 years, but in these little habitats we see they die pretty fast. On a different note, and this is just me sharing a little bit of history and also my personal experiences, I remember there was this huge room where you could see the dolphins underwater and also learn about their anatomy. So they had these huge windows where you could see the whole body of a dolphin. You could see the dolphins playing with each other and crashing against the surface of the water. It was quite amazing, to be honest. To me, the most amazing part was to see the dolphins getting so close to you and making tricks. I am not gonna lie about that. It was a nice experience. It was really fun. It's actually the closest that you can get to a dolphin and see them so close to you. This is why it took me almost 2 years to post this video, because I didn't want to promote an attraction that engages in animal cruelty. And I am not saying that they hate their animals or that they don't take care of their animals. However, we know that dolphins live in the ocean and they can swim for more than 60 miles a day. And obviously these pools are not even half a mile long, so
We need to remember that Las Vegas is located in a desert, and therefore, these dolphins had little space to hide from the sun, which could cause some skin burns. Not only that, but they had little space to swim.
And right here we have the lion habitat. There was lions, tigers, jaguars, and other cats. It was included with the entrance to the dolphin habitat. But to me, this part was actually pretty depressing. You could see the lions and tigers really sad. They would be like walking around, but they were like pretty depressed. You could actually feel that. So back then, I didn't feel bad for the dolphins. To me, they were okay because they were like interacting with the employees and things of that sort. I was blind, obviously. But my point is that the tigers and the lions was a different story. You could see right away that they were pretty depressed. You could see these animals showing signs of psychosis, and you could see these animals just walking in circles. To me, they look like prisoners. You don't have to be a scientist or a biologist to see that these animals were pretty depressed due to them living in really small spaces. By the way, my degree was in biology, and I took ethology classes, which is the study of animal behavior. But you don't have to take these classes to see the obvious. These animals look so depressed. Just watch this tiger walking in small circles because he doesn't have anything else to do. And once you exit the lion habitat, you get to see the pool with the female dolphins. And right here you can see some little babies. Once again, these babies are the offspring of male dolphins from other aquariums. Once again, all this is possible through artificial insemination. Ironically, these babies are going to meet their daddies because they are gonna be transferred to SeaWorld San Diego, their new house.